I lost my best friend over a cheeseburger and a prayer. Hi, it's Pastor Cliff, and you're listening to By the River, the weekly podcast from the River Church in Decatur, Georgia. By the River supports the mission of our church to make disciples, helping one another grow more and more into the likeness of Jesus Christ. Welcome to a new season of By the River. We're back on track to drop new episodes every week, so stay tuned. It's Tuesday, May 6th, 2025, and today we're going to start a new series of episodes having to do with prayer. We've been preaching through the book of Daniel over the last few months here at the River, and a major theme of that book and of Daniel's life is prayer. Daniel, he was a man of prayer. He was also a man of great faith, and so we're going to move into a season of focus on prayer, but maybe not the way you're thinking. Rather than dissecting prayer and speaking about it theologically or abstractly, I'm going to take you through prayers that I've learned to pray over the course of my spiritual life, my walk with the Lord. I like to say that these are prayers that God taught me. I'm going to be sharing some deeply personal stories and how God has led me to pray in the peaks and valleys of my life. And I hope that these both bless you and encourage you. And in some small way, I hope that we might be able to pray together to the glory of God. So we're calling this series Psalmish. They aren't the Psalms by any means, but they're short, what I call breath prayers, kind of born out of urgency, and they're prayed in the spirit of the Psalms. And so that's why I've called them Psalm-ish, because they aren't the Psalms, but they're personal, spiritual, in the spirit of the Psalms. The first Psalmish prayer that I'll be relating to you today is, Father, I'm yours, I belong to you, do what you want with me. So let's get started. I don't remember the exact date. I don't remember what shirt I was wearing or how long the conversation lasted, but I'll never forget what it felt like. I was sitting across from my best friend in the McDonald's trying to explain what had just happened to me. A few weeks earlier, I'd come home from a Christian youth retreat and something had changed. I didn't have words for it yet. I just knew something in me had flipped and it couldn't be unflipped. My friend, he just sat there across from me. He shifted uncomfortably in his seat. He said, "It's good what you're doing, but why do you have to be so extreme about it? I feel like I'm losing my best friend." And honestly, I didn't know what to say. Behind us, there were a group of older men who met there at McDonald's every morning, and they were talking way too loud, about their prostate problems. It was kind of surreal, this holy tension on one side of the table and then this unholy commentary on the other side of the room. But finally, my friend, he just stood up, he pushed back his chair, and he said something that stuck with me. He said, "I give it 2 weeks." That's how it always goes. People, they get all fired up and they say that they've changed, but it never lasts. Okay, maybe you've heard something like that before. Maybe you've said it, but I know deep down that this was different. The retreat had ended, but God hadn't stopped speaking. They gave us this devotional book to take home. It asked us to fast from something for 30 days, so I gave up fast food for 30 days. Back then, as a teenager, that felt like a sacrifice. Now in my 40s, I call it survival. I don't eat a lot of fast food nowadays, but on day one, something hit me hard. The devotional asked a question that I wasn't ready for. What is the cost of following Jesus? And honestly, I'd never thought about that. I grew up going to church, Sunday school, vacation Bible school. Honestly, if someone had told me to invite a banana into my heart, to stay out of hell, I'd probably have done it. That's how it worked. But that first chapter quoted Matthew 16:24. Jesus said, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. And in the very next verse, for whosoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. I was floored. This wasn't the God that I grew up picturing, distant, bureaucratic, indifferent. This was a God who cared about what I did with my actual life, a God who wanted me fully, not just my yes at a summer camp. He wanted my everything. And here's what I realized. Maybe this is going to speak to you too. God wasn't calling me to try harder. He wasn't demanding that I measure up in some way. He was offering me grace, and that grace was calling me into something deeper. I wasn't a slow or careful decision maker, never have been, but in this case, it helped because when I sat there in my room thinking about Jesus' words, deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow me, I knew I couldn't fake my way through that one. So I prayed, and I didn't use any fancy words. It was just this: Father, I'm yours. I belong to you. Do what you want with me. That's it. It was a prayer of surrender. And the thing about a prayer like that is you don't just pray it once. You start it that way, and then you pray it again tomorrow and again the next day. And it becomes a heartbeat of your life with God. It becomes a prayer that never stops. So maybe today you need to pray that same prayer. Maybe you're at a crossroads like I was. Maybe you've followed Jesus for years, but there's still something he is asking you to lay down. This episode isn't about pressure, it's about invitation. So as we close, I'm going to invite you to pray with me right where you are. Father, I'm yours. I belong to you. Do what you want with me. Teach me what it means to follow. Give me grace, not only to believe, but to pray. Help me to trust you again and again and again, in Jesus' name, amen. Well, thanks for being with us today. Next time on By the River, we'll keep walking through Psalm-ish together, one story, one prayer at a time. Until then, keep praying, keep listening, and remember, God's not done with your story yet.